I'm teacher Janica, and today we're going to discuss about addition and subtraction of integers. So first, let's have the addition of integers. So for addition of integers, we're just going to follow two rules. One is for the like signs, which is positive and then positive, or negative and then negative, and then the other one is for the unlike signs. They are just positive and then negative. So let's see what are the rules that we're going to follow. Okay, so now let's have this one. If the integers have like signs, it means it's either both positive or both negative. All we have to do is to add the integers and then copy the common signs. So let's have this one. 12 plus 12. Since 12 plus 12 are both positive, all we have to do is to add it. So 12 plus 12 is 24. And then copy the signs. As you notice, we're not writing anymore the plus sign if the integers are positive, because it's already understood that if a number doesn't have a sign before it, it means that it's already a positive number. Next, let's have the second one. Let's say we have negative 11 plus negative 14. So negative 11 and negative 14 are both like signs because they both have negative signs. So we're just going to add first 11 plus 14, so that is 25. And then since they are like sign, we're going to copy their common sign, which is the negative sign. So the answer will become negative 25. And then the last one, it's negative 9 plus negative 13. Again, they are both negative, so that's why we're going to add 9 plus 13, so that is 22. And then we're just going to copy the sign, which is negative. As simple as that. That's how simple addition of like signs or addition of integers with like sign is. Next, let's have the unlike signs. So if the integers have unlike signs, all we have to do is to subtract the integers and then copy the sign of the number which has a greater absolute value. So it means that the number which is bigger is always have the greater absolute value, whether it is a positive or a negative number. Okay, so let's have this example number 1. So 12 plus negative 3, since 12 and then negative 3 are unlike signs, we're going to subtract it. So 12 minus 3, that is 9. And then we're going to look for the number which has a greater absolute value. So since 12 is bigger than 3, we're just going to make it as a positive number. Next, negative 35 plus 7, since again they are unlike signs, we're just going to subtract it. 35 minus 7, that is 28. But since negative 35 has a bigger or a greater absolute value, we're just going to copy the sign of negative 35, which is negative. Now let's have this one. The negative 17 plus 17. Since they are unlike signs, still the answer must be subtracted. So 17 minus 17 is, of course, 0. Do we need to put negative sign or positive sign for 0? The answer is no, because 0 is neither a positive number or a negative number. So 0 will always become 0 only. Next, let's have positive 6 plus negative 24. So subtract the number the way we subtract numbers. So 24 minus 6, that is 18. And then copy the sign of the number which has a greater absolute value, since negative 24 here is bigger or has a greater absolute value, we're going to copy its sign, which is negative. So, as simple as that. That's how simple adding integers is. So first, the two rules that we're going to have is, first, if they are like signs, they are both positive or they are both negative, all we have to do is to add the numbers. And then, if they are unlike signs, all we have to do is to subtract the number and then copy the sign of the number which has a greater absolute value. Now let's proceed to the rules for subtraction of integers. The rules for subtraction of integers has 4 steps. So we're going to follow the KCCA rule. First, K, keep the sign of the minuend. C, change subtraction to addition. Next, C, change the sign of the subtrahend, and then A is for add the integers, or we're going to follow the rules on how we're going to add the integers later. So let's have this example. First, 12 minus 8. Of course, we already know what 12 minus 8 is, but we're going to show how does 12 minus 8 happens if we're going to use the KCCA method. So 12, first, keep the sign of the minuend, which is 12. Then, we're going to change subtraction here into addition. So that will become plus. And then, we're going to change the positive 8 here into negative 8. That's it. And then, we're going to dive in with the addition of integers. So remember that if the integers are unlike signs, we're going to subtract it and then copy the sign of the integer with a greater absolute value. So let's subtract first 12 minus 8. That will become 4. But since 12 is bigger than negative 8 in terms of absolute value, we're just going to have positive 4 here. Next, let's have negative 20 minus negative 17. So first, keep the sign of the minuend or of the first number. So that is negative 20 as it is. Next, change subtraction into addition and then change the sign of the subtrahend here. The negative 17 will become positive 17. And then we're going to add it. So negative 20 plus 17, they are unlike signs, so we're going to subtract it first. So the answer is 3. But negative 20 here has a greater absolute value. That's why our answer here will become negative. Okay, now let's have the last example. 9 minus negative 10. So first, keep the sign of the minuend. So that's positive 9 again. Change the subtraction to addition. So the minus will become plus sign here. And then the negative 10 here will become positive 10 already. And then we're just going to add the integers. Since 9 and then 10 are both positive, all we have to do is to add both the numbers. Okay, so that's it. As simple as that. So, in subtracting integers, we're just going to follow the KCCA rule. First, keep the sign of the minuend or the first number. Next, change subtraction into addition. Then next, C, change the sign of the subtrahend or the second number. And then the last, we're going to follow addition rule for integers. That's it for today. Thank you so much and goodbye.